you've done these incredible costumes, the worm, for example.
Oh, thank you.
And Heidi Klum obviously copied your costume and didn't give you any credit for it. And also, you did one other costume, the Peacock.
The Peacock was this
she
last
copied,
year.
and
Yeah.
she's like, and someone asked, "Where do you get your inspiration?" She's like, "Oh, I just come up with." And she was just on the show with you where you were a peacock.
Yeah.
What's with that?
I mean, you tell me. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still wondering what the true.
Were you upset with this?
It's not rocket science.
Not rocket science. Not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
Blast off. Welcome to Not Rocket Science. In this episode, join us for an interview with the longest running guest star on America's Got Talent, comedian Sethward. He's been in many other TV shows and movies. He's the man. He's here with us now. Because being a comedian and an actor, it's not what, Anthony?
He looks, I don't know what it is.
It's. I say it every week.
Oh,
you can do it. You can do it this week. All right, ready? It's not what, Anthony? It's not.
It's not
rocket science.
What are you asking me? What is not what? Being a comedian and actor?
You can do this.
I can do it. So what am I saying? What it isn't?
Okay. It's not what, Anthony?
What isn't? What is not?
It's not rocket science.
But what is not rocket science?
Brain surgery.
All right, you'll get it one day. One day he'll get it. Here he is, Sethward.
Hey, thanks for having me, boys.
First question right off the bat. Your mustache. How long do you grow it out? What's the care?
I just let it grow. I just let it be. It's its own.
It's like the Frozen song.
Yeah, it's a lot like
grow,
Disney's Frozen.
Let it grow.
I love those lyrics to that song that are definitely those lyrics.
And does your partner like your mustache?
Honestly, she does. She
cool.
doesn't. I think she's told me if I were to shave it, she would break up with me.
How long have
Really?
you been a police officer? Get it? Couple of partners.
What was that? Oh,
It'd
yeah.
be funny if you're a police officer and your detective partner doesn't like your look.
It's my detective partner.
I don't like your look.
Yes, my girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, she's my girlfriend.
But yeah, tell us about
Lori
your
Love.
mustache.
Matching mustaches or?
We do.
That's
She
really cool.
she refuses to shave, and I'm happy about it.
Great.
It's I don't trim it. It just kind of grows. And it doesn't get any bigger than this. I've had it for 8 years. It just kind of stays this length.
Do you use any product in it, or?
Every now and then I, give it a little spritz of some hairspray. I have a mustache wax that I got at a music festival. The Grand Artique makes a excellent mustache wax.
Who?
The Grand Artique, I'm not, but they are good people that I know.
Sounds like a cult leader.
Am I in a cult? Am I in a cult?
The
Did I just realize just now
makes
I'm
an excellent Kool-Aid.
Oh my god!
So what was the idea for the mustache, just to kind of stand out? You
think
like
so.
it, or what's?
I think that I decided that I was just another straight white male, and I needed something to differentiate myself.
Well, that's smart.
And you guys have different looks that you guys are doing a really good job with.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a very standard white man.
No. Whenever you go into casting, they say we need a character.
Yeah. When I go into casting, they're like, "What? Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm here for the garbage."
What if you grow?
I gotta change the
You're
garbage.
a garbage man.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you would look really good with a really long goatee, like one that goes.
I have one you can borrow. You know?
I don't want to borrow. I want real goatee.
Actually, you know what? You look a lot like Rudolph the reindeer that was in our last episode. Was that you?
Oh, I've heard of this guy. A goat moonlighting as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah, that's a fake. That's a phony and a fake.
Wow.
And he's copying you?
Yeah.
Well,
lock him up.
Oh my lord.
That was you. That
was me.
Let's be honest.
That was my dumb
And
face.
you do you do these amazing animal costumes.
Wow, thank you for saying they're amazing, Matty.
They're incredible, man. I mean, you've made me laugh harder than I think anyone in my as much as Jim Carrey makes.
Oh
me.
my
You and
God.
Anthony, you guys
You
make
don't
me
have
That's
to bring
so
me in on
sweet.
this.
Why? But it's
That's,
true.
that's just because I'm sitting here.
No, it's not. It's not.
But,
But-
Matty, that's a lot because you've acted with Jim Carrey
Yeah.
before. That's a huge compliment for me.
Yeah, but seriously,
On multiple projects. Right?
I have. Yeah.
Oh
But-
my God, what
but
an
this-
insane compliment.
Yeah, this
I'm
episode
blushed.
Multiple
all
cons.
about you.
I'm
but
flushed and blushed.
but these animals you do are just incredible. Can you kind of list off some of the ones that you've done? And
Well,
I've done cow,
Yep.
back horse. Oh,
No
him.
horse.
And what were you doing with these animals, Anthony?
No, just being them.
You were being with them? With
Not
the
real.
biblical being?
No,
And
I
did
was
you
not.
know them?
Are you hinting
And
that I
but-
was making love to animals? Because
Yeah,
no,
what
I
is
was
this?
not.
but before you actually get into that, I want to tell you a quick little story about because I used to dress as a giraffe and
Yes.
do Ron Lynch's show,
Good.
and Anthony would play the animal trainer, and we would come out,
Yes.
and I would have I would be as a giraffe, and I'd have like a bucket, and I'd eat like lettuce, and then I
Perfect.
peed in a bucket.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. But one thing that was really hilarious. Anthony had a birthday party once, and he was like, "Come to my birthday party," and I went to his birthday party dressed as this giraffe, and I thought it was a Halloween party.
Yeah.
So I was the
was
only
not.
one there.
Is your
as a
birthday
giraffe.
October 31st?
No, it's October 20th. So it's
I don't know
close.
why.
okay.
I don't know why I thought it was
Early.
but there's a photo of
It's pretty
me as a
funny.
giraffe, and
It's
Anthony-
pretty funny.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah,
So
it was-
no one else was in costume.
No one else was in costume.
That
It
feels
was
like
insane.
my career.
Yeah, right.
But
Bunch of stand-up comedians, and then I show up, and everyone's like, "Why?"
But tell us
No.
about you and
Yeah.
these animals that you come up with. What was your first inspiration? Kind of, can you list off some of the ones that you've
Yes,
done?
I used to do a lot of characters at live shows that were, I mean, anything from like two kids in a trench coat to like a newborn baby that, is a premature baby. I was like, what does that look like as a full-grown man character? And then a lot of animals started popping up because I thought, you can get away with a lot by committing as an animal. And I guess specifically, there's social norms you can get away with breaking and shattering because as an animal, you're just being an animal. They don't know. They don't know
right,
any
right.
better. They're
Right.
innocent, incarnate. So
Right.
that's kind of what the animals ended up becoming is the ability to get away with a lot of stuff. And I did a snake because I thought that snakes were the funniest animals in the world. These little creatures that are crawling around have no arms and legs. They are just slithering on the ground, but we're all innately terrified, and they'll fall. They'll be in a tree and they'll just fall down, and then they whip around and they're like, no, I'm cool. You're still afraid of me, right? And we're like, yeah, no, we are still afraid of you. So I thought that high status while just like slithering around, like, I don't know
That's
why
true.
we don't laugh at
You-
these creatures.
You know what he's telling me right now?
Uh-oh.
Next time I see a snake, it's on. I'm
It's
not
on.
scared of those stupid
Don't
things.
be scared.
I'm
Laugh
a
at
little.
them.
I got legs, mother.
Yeah, exactly. So I tried to do that as like a human in it. And there's a lot of play. You can have a lot of fun with that, I think.
Okay, so your snake, for example, you get up on stage and you full on eat people.
Yeah, I thought it would also be funny
Yeah.
to like digest another human. And then I found out this is something that was way later. I started putting some of these videos online and found a huge niche community of people that are obsessed with it. They call it vor, and it is
Vor.
Yeah, I think that it's a sexual thing that they're into, being eaten alive. Some fetish I found, didn't know it existed, and now I've tapped into something.
Hey, you can only do it once, really.
Well,
So what you're
it
trying to say
depends.
is you have an OnlyFans. Is that what you're
Honestly,
trying to
I
say?
think I could do well on that site.
Unfortunately, though, you have a one-time customer.
No, it's
You
not.
eat them and then it's over.
They just like watching it. I'm not. They don't like
they like
having it
watching
happen
it.
to them themselves.
My thing is when I'm eating.
It's like voyeuristic vor. So it's them watching and then putting themselves in the place. I
They
don't
love
think
it. They love watching things being eaten.
I think so.
And you've been on America's Got Talent with these characters how many times now?
Oh, man, it depends. It's a hard question to answer because sometimes I went back on the show in the same episode. So it was like, does that count as one? It's two different characters. It's the same
How about
season.
this ballpark figure?
About 100.
Is that true?
Yeah, ballpark 100
That's so many times.
No, it's not
25?
So I've been on, let's count it. I did the caterpillar. I did the walrus. I did the giraffe. I did the peacock. I did the phoenix. I did the apple and worm.
Look at this, 25.
And then I did, then I did the goat. But I also did the butterfly. I don't know if you can count that.
You can.
And then I did the peacock twice. So I don't know if you can count that.
Did you do chicken?
I didn't do the chicken. Was on the Gong Show,
The
and
Gong
same
Show.
with the snake was on the Gong Show, and the bunny and the walrus was also on the Gong Show.
Been a lot of these stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of animals.
That's great.
As well as the cow.
Yeah,
you said.
plenty.
And what was that
Plenty
like
kind.
being on that show? Like, did you like it or?
It's very interesting. There's lots of ups and downs. I mean, the show is its own show, so you're doing what they need for their show.
Right.
And so,
Like they've kind of wrote you on the
they
show,
decide
right? With like bits. and
yeah,
stuff?
where you fit in their, format. And so I was very lucky in that they used me in a way that I enjoyed.
You kind of play like a heel on the show.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And they really made it. The editors on AGT were having a blast with my stuff. Like they took it, and I'm so glad that they thought it was funny and then actually edited it in a way that I thought was also funny.
Great.
But they made up a lot of stuff in the edit, which was, I mean, thank goodness it was funny, because otherwise it would have been quite manipulative, right?
Right. Are you talking about like your your parts falling out? And
different
stuff
parts,
like that?
different parts they were editing.
Yeah. Because I was like, I don't think that's something you would do. Like,
it depends. I mean, it's like, is it worth it? That's what I always want to. We have to decide. You always got to decide.
yeah.
Is it worth it? And when you don't have any control over it, it's almost never worth it. So there was a big gamble that was taken.
Yeah.
Yes, I have no control on
Okay.
that show. I really don't get to. I don't get to say, oh, don't use that part. Oh, do use that part. Or let me do it again.
Oh, right.
The peacock tail falling off was, I did not want that to happen. And I tried so hard to let them get me to do it again. And they were like, no, I think it's good. I think it's fine. It's fine. I was like, I spent years making this animatronic peacock tail to come up and down. It like came up and then flowed out. It was a whole thing. I had put motors on it. I had a button that I pressed. It was an actuator.
You're like a mad scientist.
and they're like-
It really was an insane moment.
And
But
they're
in the
like,
best way.
they're like, shut up, kid. Get in the cage.
Get in the cage.
Get back in the cage. Who cares about your animatronics?
Smile and dance.
Yeah, smile and dance are gonna get you that money. Yeah, you're gonna get
monkey.
that. You dummy.
I'm not a monkey. I'm a peacock.
You're a monkey and a peacock. You dummy. Get in the cage.
You've gotten quite a big fan base of fans that.
I hope so. I truly wish.
Do you get recognized for
every now
being-
and then? I think so.
Do you get people coming up to you?
I never know if they're what side of the fence, because I think I've polarized at least Middle America in them despising who I am, and people who love what I do and understand
no.
the
That's
comedy.
It's right in the middle.
So you
Middle
never
America,
know.
right
Yeah,
in the
it's true.
sides.
You
So wait,
never
do you
know.
get people hating on you in Middle America?
Lots of people hate on me for sure. Definitely.
Like you've been out in public and they're like, "Oh, Sethward," or
I don't think they come up to me and they're like, "You're the guy from AGT," but who knows what they really think of me. But I think that it's something to be said with somebody who gets offended that I go on their show. Like, some people are really diehard fans of America's Got Talent, and I go on and they see me as making fun of their favorite thing in the world.
That's right.
So they hate me for it.
That's why I was mad at you.
Exactly.
I love
knew
that
it.
show. I
Well,
love that
that's-
show.
That
like,
brings me
who
back to
loves
like
that?
your.
I watch every.
That
friggin'
brings me
second.
back like you're a heel, like you're.
Yeah.
You kind of like because like
A bit of a heel.
because you kind of have like beef. They make up beef with you and Simon. Like,
Sure,
is there
sure.
any beef or?
I mean, who knows? I
'cause
don't
have
even
you
know.
talked to him or?
In passing, there's always impact. And on stage, we get into it. I feel like there's so much less that they use than there is that we do. There's so
really?
much talking back and forth, and that's what the producers usually really are scared whenever I get on, because they know that they don't know what I'm gonna do, but
Because
they
you're a
want
wild man.
Yeah,
they
but
want
they
like it.
want that, but
Yeah.
then they also are scared to a certain
right.
extent.
Yeah.
Because they never know. So they're constantly wanting me to, write them a script or something. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, is Anthony going to write a script about what he says on this podcast? Like, Anthony didn't write any of that.
I'm standing in front of sitting in front of a script, sir.
You didn't write any of this, Anthony.
No, I did not. I did not. My name's on it. Yeah, that's true. I didn't
Anthony
write it.
stands up and says, I do cows.
That is true. I did write all that.
I do horses.
Oh, are you giving an example of like what kind of things you do?
I'll tell you what.
That's what Anthony does.
The thing that's weird is to argue with Simon because he's so beloved. Everyone loves
People
Simon
love him,
Cowell.
but then they
because he's so
also, like,
talented and fun.
They kind of don't like him. Like, it's a
Who
weird.
does?
It's
Yeah.
such a weird thing, right? To make this persona of somebody that's. It's like the chef guy. What's the Boyardee? Not Boyardee. The chef guy.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon. Chef Gordon.
How could you go from Boyardee to Gordon Ramsay? That's so funny.
Gordar MRD. Goramsay. It
Gordon.
sounds the exact same.
It does.
And
People love to hate him.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Same with Simon, but
So,
also it's like
It's a similar vibe.
Simon doesn't seem like he's like super like talented at things.
Wow. Oh,
Is he?
man. Forget about your dreams in the music industry, Anthony. You will never
what
make
does
it
he
now.
have on
You just
that?
blacklisted
Am
yourself.
I true?
Wait, what?
Is he talented?
Yeah.
Simon Cowell?
He-
What does he do?
yeah, say goodbye to your singing
Say goodbye
career.
to your
he
singing
just
career.
tells people that he gives his opinion. That's what he does. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess
He's
he
the
has
gatekeeper. He's the one with the key.
All right.
Let's talk
No.
about something else that I'm really curious about.
What,
Yes.
you love Simon?
No. No, I'm curious about how you've done these incredible costumes, the worm, for example,
Oh, thank you.
and Heidi Klum obviously copied
yes.
your costume and didn't give you any credit for it. And also, you did one other costume, the peacock.
The peacock was this
She
last
copied,
year.
and
yeah.
she's like, and someone asked, "Where do you get your inspiration?" She's like, "Oh, I just come up with." And she was just on the show with you where you were a peacock.
Yeah.
What's with that?
I mean, you tell me. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still
That's-
wondering what the true.
Were
like,
you upset with this?
I think at first I was like, oh, she's going to eventually be like, oh, yeah, I saw it on AGT a couple months ago. I thought Sethward did such a fun job. Like, I wanted to do, because she was doing bits
But yeah,
that
she
were the
did
same.
this incredible worm right after you did a worm.
Yeah, she judges America's Got Talent, so she
Yeah.
saw the worm.
I'm not gonna. I hate
couple
to
months
say this, but I
before.
liked hers better. She did a great job.
You know what? She did a great job.
I liked her stuff, man.
But it's not a matter of who did it better. It was
yeah,
about
but just give you some kind of
where
credit.
she did it
or
first.
invite me to the party.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah,
this.
yeah.
though.
Like that's all I wanted was.
I
maybe
do have
an
something
invite.
to say though on her behalf. I knew Heidi.
Let's hear it.
Heidi.
Let's
I
hear
knew
it.
Heidi Klum 15 years ago. She
Did
did
you
that
really?
worm costume
Okay.
and the other one. I knew that for a
and the
fact.
other one, you don't even remember what it is.
She did both of them. I guarantee
So
you.
I saw her do it, and I was like, "Oh,
you took Heidi Klum.
she's gonna love this."
the talented. Everyone. That's the thing about that show. They all are so talented. Heidi Klum.
they're all
and
very talented.
Simon Cowell. I like. What's his name's good.
Howie Mandel.
Howie
is very
Mandel is
funny.
really
Yeah.
great and
I
funny.
love Howie. I think they're all very talented in their own way, and I think Heidi did a great job with her costumes. I just,
yeah. She
I
made
would
it
have loved
too,
to have been a
apparently.
part of it. Maybe even just a shout out would have been nice.
I
at
think
all.
that is
Yeah.
pretty awful since you know.
It is. It is. Not to give him
No,
credit.
I'm talking about him stealing from her. Oh wait, oh no, you thought I was sticking up for you? No. I like Heidi's
no.
idea. That was cool.
So
She's got. I just want to say she's got like thousands of dollars she puts into that. I scrapped together garbage that I had to make these
Oh, yeah.
costumes.
Talk about
I do not
that a
get
little
paid to be on that show.
You don't get paid?
Broke as
Wait,
broke
hold
can
on.
be.
You don't get paid?
I'm being used in every sort of way, and I do it because
You
of
don't
the
get
art.
a day rate?
I do. You don't get anything.
You know what? We should have
Are
had
you
Yeah,
kidding
that's
me?
awful.
No. And so for somebody to go and then, get the thing was that she had news articles after news articles written about how awesome she was being a worm and then how genius she was doing a peacock. No one's ever done a peacock costume. It's amazing. She's so genius.
Genius,
and
they
then
say.
I have a hard time getting my Wikipedia article keeps getting deleted because they say I don't have enough noteworthy sources. What the? And then they write 100.
You can blame me
articles
for that
about her worm
Wikipedia
cartoon.
thing
You
too.
keep deleting my Wikipedia page.
I'm
How
in there just
dare
waiting for you to post things.
He's your heel.
I'm
It's
like,
the
you post it. I'm
inconsistency.
like, delete,
Good.
delete a PDF,
You know,
delete a
it feels
PDF.
like that.
No,
it definitely feels like that.
I do think that's
Let's
awful.
get back to the interview here. What?
Yeah.
So
What is he talking about the interview?
So, for your costumes, let's talk about that because you build these yourself. Like,
Yeah,
how do
yeah.
you sew them, and can you kind of talk about how you build these costumes?
I just try my
What you
best with the skills that I have, which aren't a lot.
No, you have a
And,
lot of skills.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
honestly.
Wow, thanks, Anthony. Wait, are you for Heidi or for me now?
Always
What part of
Heidi, but
Anthony
I
are
like you now. It's always Heidi.
Okay, great. Okay, good.
She's single,
Good to
right?
know
Yeah. No, I do want to say that Heidi is
She's gorgeous.
is a cold-blooded thief,
Oh my god!
and I'm against her.
I don't know if she's been a reptilian.
I'll crush her.
Patriot.
No,
but
anyway,
how do you
yeah.
build these costumes?
I taught myself how to well, my dad kind of taught me how to weld. My mom taught me how to sew years and years, but not professionally. It was just to get by. And so I've just kind of tried to build these things, figure it out on my own. And then I'll ask very talented friends for help all the time. So I've had so many amazing costume designers look at my work and are like, you can use bunting or something, a very obvious thing that I should have been using. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that existed because I'm
Right.
not a costumer. I'm not a fabricator. I just try to make work what I have. But when
Yeah.
you don't have any money, you just do whatever you can with whatever you have.
you're like,
That's
this
just what I
isn't baseball, man.
It's
So
not
I
rocket
don't. I'm not
science.
gonna bunt.
It's not.
Yeah.
A bunt,
It's not
and they're like,
science.
no,
So-
it's a part of clothing, and you're like, oh,
It's a costume thing. Stop calling you a costume comic if you don't know how to make costume. I'm like, I'm not calling myself a costume
So
comic.
you know how to sew, you know how to weld. That's incredible. Do you map out how you build these
I
costumes?
sometimes do a kind of a sketch, and
A
then it's a
sketch?
lot of cut 100 times, plan one time. Yeah.
I'm planning his next costume.
Oh, please do.
By
Please
the end
do.
of this episode, you're gonna love it.
Great,
Alright,
great,
cool.
great. Good. It's a lot of trial and error. A lot of error in the
Yeah.
trial and error. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I'll remake. So the costumes you see have been it's the 6th iteration of them, and they're still not properly working. They're falling apart at all seams. So I'm faking it until I make it. But I'm making it. I'm faking making it. So I'm faking it
So
till I
it's
make
kind
it
of
when
it's
I
trial
make
and
it.
error once you.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
definitely trial and error.
Wow. And yeah, that's amazing. And
What is
A snail.
this?
I tried it like the bottom part's a snail. That's a good idea. Snail?
a snail would be great.
What is this? A tusk?
That's your mustache.
Oh, you should do a snail. That'd be a really
It's
good
a
one.
snail.
It would. You know what? I saw
snail.
a snail on Trigger Happy. Do you remember that sketch show?
No.
I think it was a British or Canadian.
Oh, I
sketch
do
show.
remember that a while.
They have an amazing bit with a snail. I could never make anything better than that.
All right,
No,
I'll go back.
I don't know. I think you could.
I mean, who knows? I mean, everything is original
Okay,
based on what you do.
what animals are you kind of thinking on right now?
Oh
that
man.
You want to do?
Okay, so there's a guy. There's
Heidi, plug your ears.
Plug your ears, Heidi.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do an elephant because I think that's so big and insane.
Oh my god, that'd be.
I want to do this character that has an identity crisis. He doesn't know who he is, trying to figure out if he's a crocodile or an alligator. He has no clue, so he just calls himself a crocagator. I think that would be
that. Oh,
phenomenal.
I really like that idea.
Right? No
yeah.
one really knows which one is
Well,
which.
Our
Mouse.
last episode that was
Mouse.
that was good practice for.
I do want to do a mouse. That's the next. This looks like a really cute mouse.
And that's your mustache again.
yeah,
Yeah,
you all. The whiskers.
That's great.
This is good. Thank you for
guys.
this
Thank you so
inspiration.
much.
So that's really cool.
I want to do a mouse that looks like vaguely like Mickey Mouse, but he's like disgusting, like a rat, and he's just like gets caught in a mousetrap on stage.
Oh, that's
and
good.
everybody
That's
has to watch him try to escape. Like either
That's hilarious.
Oh God,
That's
Gorge.
that's great. That's hilarious. That's so cool. So you build all your stuff. So what else? What other projects are you working on?
I'm trying to sell a show, Matty. That's my
Yeah.
big thing. I've been
Yeah.
working on it. You know this.
Yeah.
We've talked about it for like 3 years now. And it's a lot of moving elements because I want to make something that people haven't seen before, but then it's impossible to sell something that nobody's seen before. So
Yeah.
I try to pitch it like it's like Jackass meets Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's like,
I love that, yeah.
kind of kid show aesthetic, but with really sharp corners. So there's danger and there's risk and there's humanity behind it, but we are living in kind of a pseudo-whimsical world because that's kind of the vibe that I live in.
That's awesome.
A guy that really believes he's an animal when in actuality he's
And can
just
you
a
say
guy in a
who's
costume.
been helping you produce that? Are you allowed to say? Or
I don't know anymore, actually.
oh, okay.
We've
'Cause
got a couple of production
Mike
companies.
Myers was interested.
Well, I would love if Mike Myers was.
Well,
who knows?
Didn't he help?
We haven't talked to Mike Myers. I was talking to Howie Mandel, who's like has a production company, and the people at Gong Show. We pitched a show around with the Den of Thieves is the production company that they produce the Gong Show, and they do a bunch of other like live events. And we're trying to pitch a show that had the animal characters in the real world, kind of hidden camera, but not really a prank show. It was just kind of like me interacting with humans, kind of like a Nathan For You style, which I guess people call that prank. That's kind of a prank show, but I call it like candid camera. You know, I don't know if that's an old show that I don't think anyone uses those terms anymore. But yeah, using real people who aren't actors as the actors in the show. I think and finding that middle ground where you have like they influence the story and the story influence the event, and that event there's like a bunch of people that don't know what's going on, but we get the real reactions, and it's just it's a wonderful show. If
That's
anyone
awesome.
wants to throw some money down, it's gonna be the best show ever made. The best show ever made.
Have you thought about doing just a Kickstarter or just doing it yourself?
Thought about
'Cause it's
that.
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah. I think that's
you
what I'm
know,
gonna do.
I think you should because it's just
in the
like
new year. Yeah.
you know, you can't wait. You just gotta do
it.
Just
And you
do
know,
it.
I have an amazing crew.
Because you're so
of
talented and you make stuff all
and
the
I've
time.
got so many talented friends that would be down, and
yeah.
so you know, I think that's what we're gonna do in 2024. That's the year we're in.
2022.
In 2022, we're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool. So, have you auditioned for SNL? Because you would fit
Oh.
so well on that show. Like,
Thanks. I would love to. I think I made a packet and did like iOS was doing like a character showcase, but I don't think it got past the Lords of iOS. I think they stopped it right there.
Yeah.
I'd love to audition. I've never done it. It'd be
Wow.
fun, at least to try.
what's some of your favorite things that you've done? Like, because you've done so much. You've been on the Gong Show.
Oh,
Is that
thanks,
Mike
man.
Myers? That's his show.
Yeah. He
The Gong-
hosted it.
Yeah,
and
you-
Will Arnett was kind of produced it.
Yeah, you were awesome on that. And
thank
what's
you,
some of the favorite things you've worked on? Like what?
Oh man, I do a lot of YouTube stuff, so that's kind of the most that of where I've been. But I strapped weenies on my body recently. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
And if you've never done that, Anthony, I think try it.
It's pretty obvious I have. I don't
Yeah.
think you have to ask me.
don't-
Most people, come on.
Try it out.
What are you talking to a
you
rookie
do
here?
this,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a great video where you're a dishwasher.
Oh yeah, and I
That's a
started to
great
do
one.
these bits where I'm inanimate objects, but they're usually thrown out, so they're like
or a vacuum.
yeah, a vacuum. And we're gonna do a washer and dryer soon, and I'm a little scared that the costumes are gonna just shred my skin because
Oh,
I use
God.
the actual machines
Yeah, be
that we
careful.
throw out. You know, I got to be really careful on
You
this.
know, shred your skin.
They're very sharp
Yeah.
metal.
I would think, you know what? My advice: don't do that.
Don't do that one.
Do another idea.
I think I have to.
No. You don't
Because our
have
washer
to.
and dryer broke, so now they're just sitting there. They're not being used.
That'd
I
be
have to
one
use
way.
them
That'd
as
be a
costume.
terrible way to guide.
That's
Filing
the way
though.
I get decapitated by
File
my
it
own
down or something.
washing machine costume.
Your skin is. You have nice skin. You don't want to deal with that.
I wish I had an exoskeleton. That's what I
So
really
yeah,
want.
what's
No, I guess you can.
Have you
figure it
injured
out. Christmas
yourself?
was last week. Or have you had
what's
that?
been your biggest injury? Like,
I broke a rib on the Gong Show. I broke a rib whenever
God,
as
really?
a snake because I
Oh,
was being
boy.
a little reckless with, when you're on, set, they are very careful with, your body. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's your instrument. They want to see it survive through the project. They don't want you to break
Yeah.
yourself. I think a lot of people, they're like, use the stunt double. You're like, we're going to cheat it. We're going to cheat the camera. But for these talent show competitions, they don't care about your body. They just need to see what do
God.
you do so that the cameras can see it. So
Jeez.
we did like 5 run-throughs, and they're like, do it full on. I'm like, I only need to fall off this rock one time. I don't need to do it more than once.
yeah,
Because it's a hard surface.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But Mike Myers was there, the producers were there, and I was like, I'm going to show them everything I got. This is going to be full snake. And remember we talked earlier, snakes when they fall
Yeah.
is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when a snake falls. Their tail usually, and then they like whip right up, and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like a very specific vibe. So I was giving it my all, and I think I landed on my side too many times.
Oh my God.
Rib. But ribs break. They do that. It's not
Jeez.
that's not that big of an injury.
Ribs break.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
skin
nothing
gets
really-
Did you
peeled
look at
off,
a wait?
but-
Hold on. Did you look
Yeah.
at a? Did you go to a doctor? or
Yeah,
anything?
they were like,
Okay.
you can't do
Yeah, yeah.
anything about a broken rib. You just have
just
hard
rest.
time breathing every once in a while.
Oh God.
Don't cough as much as you.
And then they're like, next time, don't come to a foot doctor.
What?
Yeah.
I have no idea about ribs.
What advice would you give a comedian that's just starting out? That's just
Ooh,
because you've been so successful and you're.
Thanks, Matty.
I think you're going far. We're just like catching you. Like you're gonna go so far, man.
Oh my
You're doing so
God,
good, dude.
Stop.
Make your show and just keep doing it,
Sometimes the
and
snow comes
you won't even
around
talk to us
and-
anymore. You'll be so
Yeah,
famous.
right. You guys are
Um,
y'all are the kings.
but,
I'm honored to be here.
But yeah, what advice would you give a comedian just to kind
I
of
think that
close us out here?
if I had to give anyone advice, especially coming from what I do, is use what you have around you.
Yeah.
And just work it out, and constantly be working it, and don't forget to play. That's the biggest thing that I would forget. Whenever I'd make a costume or something, I'd be like, oh, I got to make sure that the fur's not exposing the skin, or I got to make sure it really looks like this, make sure I have the right angle, because it doesn't look like this animal if I'm doing this. Like, you get caught in your head of like what you're supposed to do, instead of just like, you forget that it's all people want to see you do is play. When you see somebody do stand-up, they want to see that guy having fun up there. They want to see them cracking themselves up. They don't want to see them have a perfectly crafted joke.
Because you're a guy that like commits, like you
And I
commit.
commit.
Where do you think you learned that from? Is it from?
I think desperation. If you've got nothing else, just commit. That's a good clown role. Is if you've got nothing, just find the smallest shiny thing and just overly commit to that, and hopefully it'll be funny. Hopefully. But if it doesn't, then you got to commit to the fact that wasn't funny, and then commit to that, and find what's fun in that failure, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
also,
beautiful.
if I had any advice, failure is the absolute best possible gift that you can be given. Don't feel like, it's a shameful thing. Failing on stage, failing at a project, failing at a vibe, failing at anything is a gift. Use it to your advantage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, dude, to me, you're a success.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sexy and successful.
That's nice of you, Matty.
Matty. Yeah.
Sexual sex.
Yeah,
sexy,
but to
successful.
me, you're very successful, and
Thanks, Matty.
yeah, I
right
think
back at you, Matty.
You're incredible.
You're an icon.
Oh,
People,
stop.
You're an absolute jewel of a human.
Thanks, man.
And Anthony's pretty good.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Don't worry about
No,
me.
Just
he's
throw
amazing.
pretzels in the corner and I'll be fine. I don't need your damn compliment.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you?
I'm at Sethward on YouTube. That's probably the best place. And then STHWRD. It's Sethward without any vowels. Because again, I'm poor and can't afford the vowels on social media. So
well, at least you're honest.
Yeah. Instagram and all the other places have STHWRD. Thanks for asking,
awesome.
Matty.
Yeah, you're the best.
Thanks
man.
for having me, boys.
Thank you.
This was so
yeah,
fun.
That was amazing. And so, just to kind of close us out here, New Year's resolutions.
I think I'm gonna make this show, Matty.
You gotta
make
do it.
This is
I
gonna
wanna
be my
be
New
in
Year's
it.
resolution. You're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to be.
New
love
Year's
this.
resolution for you, sir.
Easy. I want to be a worm for Halloween.
Oh
next year.
God! You can borrow my costume.
Hey, what was your inspiration for that?
Heidi Klum.
Yeah, good.
She's a genius. A genius.
How dare you?
Yeah. My resolution is just keep bringing that joy to everyone in the world. That's what I want to do.
That's nice.
Yeah. Just really commit, like you said.
Hey,
like just
I love that.
Commit harder. Projects, make a movie, TV show. Just do it all. Make my own stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm
love
gonna do.
that.
I want to change.
And I want to
mine now.
I want to be in your show.
I would love that.
I want to change mine
Okay.
now.
What's yours?
Yeah.
I want to be the other thing, like the other Halloween costume that Heidi Klum used.
The
the
peacock?
one that I didn't
You
know.
forgot?
I forgot.
Peacock.
No, I'll tell you what I
Wanna be the
want
other
for.
thing.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked cigarettes for a very long time. In fact, I never have.
Oh, good.
And I want to stop telling people I stopped or that I don't smoke cigarettes.
God.
Oh God.
So I want
This
to tell
is good.
people I smoke cigarettes. And then drinking. I don't drink, but I want to drink more. But not alcohol.
Just
juice.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep talking, Anthony.
Yeah.
Keep going with your news resolution.
I want to learn chopsticks. I mean, let's be honest. Does any of us really know how to use chopsticks? Do you know how to use chopsticks?
You got
Yes.
a valid point.
Like, is it this?
You
And
could-
why do you do this? Why do you do this wood thing? Why can't we make chopsticks without doing the wood thing
I
at
think
the
you
end?
gotta get all the little shavings off, right? Isn't that part?
Yeah,
of it?
yeah.
Here you go.
Happy New Year.
Another resolution is to never do resolutions again. I'm sick
Wow.
of these things.
All right. It's been a great year, and
Amen to
I'm gonna count us down, boys.
Speaking of smoking.
All right. 10.
Oh,
No.
Wait. Let's start.
ready.
10,
10,
9,
Oh, wait.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Blast off. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Everyone have a great year. Thanks for listening. We love you. And thank you, Sethward. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Our editor, our first year, our 20th episode. Thank you, Chris Dotson, Mike DeLay, everyone that helps this podcast. We love you. And Happy New Year. Goodbye. Blast off.
It's not rocket science.
Not rocket science. Not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.